it's Christina with Bubblegum Paper, and I am back from surgery. Hooray! I'm still recovering, but I wanted to thank you all for your well wishes. It was super sweet. I'm here today with another birthday card, and I'm featuring products from Mama Elephant. Today's birthday card is for my niece Camille. She turns 1 today. She's my cousin's she's my cousin's daughter, and since my cousin is like my little brother, Camille is therefore my niece. Anyhow, here's a close-up of what the card looks like, and let's get started. The products I'm using in this card are all from Mama Elephant. So I'm using the Lunar Animal stamps, the Playful Pups stamp for the sentiment, So Fancy, and the Hooray script dies. I'm using Memento Tuxedo Black ink to stamp all the images, and I'm using the lamb for this card because Camille was born in the year of the lamb, or the sheep, or the goat, as were her parents and her grandpa. That's kind of crazy, huh? I decided to give her a little princess crown. And then since she has an older sister and her parents, I'm making 3 little hearts to represent each of her family members. For the little lamb, I'm going to use a bunch of cool grays, and I'm just going to color in the face a little bit darker. And then for the body, I decided to use a combination of cool grays and the colorless blender to make a fluffy, sort of fleecy kind of look on the sheep. And everything else is pretty basic in terms of colors. So I'm going to speed this up and set this to some music. I'll be back. Now I'm going to use the coordinating dies, and I'm just going to run those through into my die cutting machine. And since I made 2 crowns, and I just figured I might as well make 2 and see which one cuts better, because I don't always get them lined up perfectly. And then I'm cutting all the hearts out as well. For the main face of the card, I'm first using the So Fancy cross stitch die to cut out an A2 size card front. I really like the little cross stitch border elements. And then I'm taking the dotted circle frames that come with the same die set, and then I'm taking the Hooray and just lining those up and cutting those out of the front of the card. Now for the Hooray, I'm going to keep all of the elements inside the letters because I will be placing them back in afterwards. I'm using the Distress ink in Cracked Pistachio, and I'm going to do some very basic ink blending. First, I'm going to blend this piece of cardstock that will show up behind the circle window on the front of the card. And I'm just going from darker to lighter, and then eventually I'll turn this upside down. I just happen to ink blend top to bottom better than bottoms up. And this smaller piece I'm using to cut out a Hooray in the green color so that it matches. I didn't have any pattern paper that matched this exact shade, so I figure I just make my own color. For the sentiment, I'm using the Yappy Birthday Sentiment from the Playful Pup stamp set, and I'm just heat embossing that with some Versamark ink and liquid platinum embossing powder from Ranger. I decided to go with Yappy Birthday as a sentiment because Camille is only 1 year old, but she crawls around all over the place, and she doesn't talk, but she definitely yaps. So I'm sure she's telling us a ton of stuff, and we just don't understand it because, we're not as cool as she is. I also call my cousin Yaz, Y-A-H-Z. It's not his name, but that's what I call him. And so Yappy and Yaz. That could be a really cool rock band. Oh no, I can't laugh. It hurts. Anyways, Yappy and Yaz. That I'm gonna work with that. So now I'm taking a standard A2 size card and I'm folding it in half, and then I'm just going to assemble the different pieces of the card. I'm just taking a look at the ink blended cardstock and figuring out where I want to place that. And since it's a little bit wider than the card itself, I'm trimming it down so that it fits and it doesn't show through any of the other parts of the card. Now I put some adhesive behind that green cardstock, and then I used that top card to align it and make sure everything fit in place. For the hooray, I'm going to do this die cut inlay technique, and what I'm going to do is take a piece of vellum and I'm applying some adhesive tape runner all across the entire front of this vellum. And once that's super sticky, I'm going to place that down onto the card. And then it's a little bit wider, so I'm just going to use some scissors to trim that off. But now what that creates is a whole sticky base. So when I lay the hooray in, I don't have to use any liquid glue. It's not messy. And then remember how I said I wanted to keep the innards of the die cut? So I'm going to take the die cut now and just place all of the inside pieces in. And the easiest way to do that is to overlay, here's my head again, overlay the letters on top. And then the R was missing a little piece, so I went in and had to die cut like another piece of the R and stick it in there. Here's what the die cut looks like when you zoom in. It just has this really cool finished effect to it. And now I'm taking that circle, the dotted circle piece, and I'm just gluing that to the center using the front panel to line it up again. And then I'm going to go ahead and put the little crown on the lamb. So I'm going to use some adhesive tape runner just on the back of the head, and I'm placing the crown there. And I thought to make her a princess, I wanted to add a little bit of bling. So I had these sticky rhinestone gem things from I have no idea where, but I'm just grabbing the little pink one and sticking that right in the center of the crown. Next, I'm going to use a bunch of adhesive foam tape. So I'm putting some foam tape behind the crown and the lamb, and then I'm going to prop up this front panel using some adhesive foam as well. So usually I cut this in half to conserve, but today I was feeling kind of lazy, so I just went with full-on thick strips of this stuff, and there's no way that this will bend when I mail it out to them. So now I'm just lining that up with the card, and then I'll stick the little lamb right in the center, and then those 3 little hearts that I cut out earlier, I'm going to lay those down. So first I just want to figure out the placement for each one of them, and then I use some of my glue pen just to carefully stick each of them down. I finished the card with some glossy accents. I'm just using those on the hearts and on the crown. And what glossy accents does is it's a really thick glue that when it dries, it creates a raised stickery effect. It's super cool. And here is the finished card and 2 close-ups of what that finished card looks like. So happy, happy, yappy, yappy birthday, Camille. And thank you all again so much for your wonderful comments and feedback and well wishes. And thanks so much for watching this video. I have 2 more videos to share with you. The one on the left is the birthday card I made for my Aunt Grace, who happens to be Camille's grandma. And the one on the right is one that I made for my uncle that also uses the lunar animal stamp set. You can follow me on social media at Bubblegum Paper or visit my blog at bubblegumpaper.com. Thanks again for watching and catch you next time. Bye!